guys, welcome back to another one. I know it's been a minute since the last breakdown video, but we're back with it. Today we're doing what's, in my opinion, the worst non-pellet 12-gauge double-aught buck shell on the market. Non-pellets is pretty standard, and these do not have a shot cup, so they're not going to pattern too good, but, well, we done know they don't pattern very good. Anyway, the specs, 12-gauge, 2 3/4 inch, 9 pieces, non-pellet, double-aught buckshot, and it says max dram equivalent. The max dram equivalent thing, it doesn't really apply here because the velocity on these, I've seen them range anywhere from the 700s all the way up to the 1700s. The chrono cannot, accurately, at least not the Caldwell that we have. It can't accurately read these. Wade Rush did a video on these way back in the day. It's been years ago now, and he was getting wildly different velocity readings too. And I think someone else, I can't remember who it was, but someone else did too. And yeah, the velocity readings with that chronograph are all over the place. And it's not just the chrono doing it, it is also the load itself. It's really inconsistent with how it's loaded. For the gas seal, it just has, as you can see, a really thin, it's an overshot card. That's not a nitro card or anything. That is just a 12-gauge overshot card and a 1/2 inch waxed hard card. It's not a good seal. The pressures build up at different, with different PSIs, and the velocities are different every single time. There's no consistency, and that's why, it's part of the reason why they're so cheap. But anyway, the box doesn't make sense either. What do you guys see back there? Do you notice what's going on here? This is depicting waterfowl, and this is a buckshot. It's a buckshot shell. So their marketing team, or at least their design team or whatever, for their boxes, they don't know what they're doing. Anyway, other than that, I mean, the box does look cool, I guess. If this was a waterfowl shell, it does look nice. Side of the box, really nothing to see here. S&B, world's oldest ammunition maker, and they're stuck in about that time period too, 1825, with the way this one's put together anyway. Now, S&B does make some pretty good ammo for their rifles and pistols anyway. I have used their 9mm Makarov before, their 7.62 54R by 54R. That's Josh's favorite load for that. They make some really good ammo. But this is not one, it's not a good example of that at all. And there's just some, it's just warnings. No one wants to read that. The back of the box is, however, well, it's still not accurate to what's in this. That's a jackrabbit. You don't hunt jackrabbits with buckshot. And that's a different shell than what's on the front. This is the front, right? Yeah, that's the front. A new breed of hunting ammunition. Might be some inbred hunting ammunition. I will say, this is pretty cool to see. This has both English and American shot sizes on it. It's not a hunting guide like Winchester does, or sometimes Federal. They don't give you, how would you word it here? Recommendations on what choke and gauge and shot size to use for what game. No, this is just a shot size chart, which is still pretty cool. Is it accurate though? Number 4 buck, 24 cal. Number 3 buck, 25, 2, 27. Yep, those are all accurate sizes. BB, 18, yeah. 20, T-shot. Yeah, this is all accurate. English, AAA for T-shot. Yeah, that looks right to me. SG for single-aught. SG for double-aught too. See, that's why 32 and 33 cal, they can be interchanged as double-aught buck, because the Europeans, they have the same designation. LG is 36 cal, which is triple-aught buck, and so on. Italian, I don't know about Italian sizes. You guys tell me if that's accurate or not. I know it's shaky, but anyway, we're moving on. The bottom of the box is, which way does it go? This way, it looks like. Probably just more warnings. Anyway, let's move on to actually breaking this down, even though you can already see what's in it, but we need to take a closer look at the components themselves. These do have a roll crimp with a plastic overshot card, no buffer. It does have a 10mm steel-plated brass head on it, and these are, I believe, NSI hulls. Noble Sport? Could be, I'm not sure. It looks like an NSI primer. By the way, these were sent to us by Ron. He is the guy who sent us the Citadel Warthog. And unfortunately that gun didn't work too well. We do still have it, and we're still working on it and testing it out here and there. And once we get it functioning somewhat properly, we'll make a new video on it. But starting with the hull here, as you guys can see, this is very simple. And I do like simple, however, this is not a good combo of components here. So, this is an oddball hull. It has a really thick, somewhat tapered base wad. You actually feel that real quick. I can't get my finger down in there. But anyway, could you call this a tapered hull? Maybe some people would. I wouldn't. It's kind of shallow in there, but it is sort of bowl-shaped. You can see it does come up quite tall. These have a 2.5-inch hull capacity, even though it is a 2 3/4-inch hull, which is odd. Really, really odd to see in modern times. Really tall base wad like that. Anyway, moving on. The powder is a European powder. Again, I'm not sure what this is, but the people in the comments will let us know. Could be a Noble Sport powder, could be Vectin, could be even a Shadot powder, but different colors. Square flakes, green, cool to see. Let's weigh it. The charge in this one is 27.8. Pretty sure it's supposed to be 28, but you know, high volume manufacturing, you're not going to have accurate powder drops every single time. There's going to be some variance. Even with stuff like this, the Lee Perfect Powder Measure or Lee Loadall, Mech, they all drop slightly inconsistent powder drops. Really no way around that. But, well, unless you have like a precision made, you know, press or whatever. But I do like that powder. These European square flake powders, I always love seeing them. Yes, they're very, very bulky and take up a ton of room, but still they are really neat. Moving on from that, oh, and yes, the hull I've been using for the past year to do breakdown videos, it is one of these S&B hulls. The same ones you see here, but anyway. Well, there's another one, actually. 9 pellets of double aught in there. Go ahead and have a look at that. All over the place today. This looks like it's 33 cal to me. Not exactly sure. I will say, though, they are pretty well formed. The one right here, center screen, the leftmost pellet, does have a little dimple in it, but this might be pure lead. I'll test that out too. It is 1.13 ounces. Now that's actually a little bit over 33 cal. They're probably 331, 332. So yeah, a little bit bigger than double aught, because 9 pellets of actual 33 cal is actually 1.1 ounces. It's not the full 1 1/8. It's very close to it though. This is actually a little bit over, so a little bit bigger than 33 cal. Now let's actually measure one and see what the actual diameter is. That way we're not just guessing. And then we'll see if this is pure lead or hard cast. Okay, so as you can see, this one is measuring 335. I did check it at multiple different angles, and it came out at 334 to 336. I didn't get any measurement bigger than 336. So this is a 33.5 cal pellet, making it double aught plus. I have some 34 cal that I would truly call double aught plus, but there you go, 335. And this will tell us if these are hard cast or just pure lead. You can squeeze a pure lead double aught with just needle nose pliers and they will flatten out pretty quickly. The hard cast won't. They're almost impossible to squeeze depending on alloy. But here we go. These have some hardness to them. I just squished it a little bit, not like a pure lead pellet at all. That would have flattened out easy. Nope. Get that off there. Yeah, these are hard cast, which is always nice to see. Hard cast lead pellets pattern better. Lead's harder. They don't deform as bad upon firing. They don't smash into each other or, you know, compress down the barrel, namely the choke. But yeah, always nice to see. Hard cast lead. Get that back in there. So, looking at the components here, for a gas seal, we just have a overshot card. This is actually a piece of a nitro card. I thought this was just a, you know, overshot card. No, it's one section of a 12 gauge nitro card, and I'll pull one out of my drawer here. These are 10 gauge, but still, that's what it is. It's just one section off of it. As you can see, if this camera would focus, there you go. These come in sections of 3. What they've done is just tore off one section, or they, ordered them in sections of 1. I don't know, but that's all it is. You guys can see the difference between 10 gauge and 12 gauge right here. There we go. I got it out of the lot. You can see 10 gauge is bigger, but not by a whole lot. It's only 46 thousandths, and that is the nominal difference. 12 gauge bore is 729. 10 gauge is 775. 46 thousandths a difference, which is enough to eyeball, and it's enough to make a big difference with shotguns, but still not much of a difference when you actually think about it. 46 thousandth. And for the filler or cushion, we have a 1/2 inch 12 gauge waxed hard card. Now I use a lot of these. I've got just a few left right here. Yeah, I use them quite often. You can see the 3 dimples where the buckshot pellets were laying, and oddly, we can see a crater in the middle of it. I guess they were using a press maybe to seat the wads, and that might be the wad seating punch doing that. Could be, I'm not sure. But yeah, moving on. I guess that's about it actually. Let's throw this back together. Actually, no, I'm not going to throw this back together. What I'm going to do is probably break down the rest of these. If you guys want to see a video on these, let us know, and we'll save out 5 or 6 of them and test them at different ranges. Yeah, let us know. But otherwise, I'm just going to cut all these up and save the buckshot and components out of them. Obviously, won't reuse the powder, but there is a breakdown on, I thought I had another shell in here, but a breakdown on S&B 12 gauge non-pellet double-aught. I'm not a fan of these. They don't pattern very well, not from what we've done and seen on YouTube, other people getting. The patterns just aren't there. The velocities are kind of all over the place, inconsistent due to how it's, the gas seal and stuff. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.